Ericka, if you could have anything you wanted for your people at your Y, what would it be?
I would say more access to nutritional information. As you said before, many people are just so unaware of small things that they can do, cutting out trans fats in their diets as well as their children. So I think that continued education. We do have nurses in the majority of the YMCAs in Charlotte, but the nutritional dietitian, I'd love to see that added in the future.
When you think about the YMCA, you automatically think about what you do in terms of physical activity and fitness. And are you able, if you get people moving, are you able to get families moving? Are you able to get the families to support so that if the kids are the only ones moving, they keep moving?
We are seeing some of that. We've actually started some fitness programs specifically for children. One in particular, our Kid Fit, focuses on children who are obese. And we have a component of education for the parents and then physical activity for the children, and then we try to bring them together just to practice and, as you said, to model that behavior throughout.
Is there recognition for their successes to keep them going?
I think once for the kids, it's really about fun, because for many of them, they have not had activity and motion, and it's just fun to be able to be a part of that and not to be, the fat kid on the sidelines looking at everyone else. So the fun is really the recognition that the kids enjoy more than anything.
When we think about obesity, which we've talked a lot about, and everybody's talking a lot about it, Dr. Jones, what do you think is the single most message that we get? When I listen to you, I think about what you've said in terms of things we eat and don't eat. We need to be moving. The level of obesity is just getting so much higher, and it's so much more serious.
One of my favorite mottos is that health is an agreement between mind, body, and spirit, and I try to teach the children and their parents that your physical health tends to be a manifestation of your emotional and spiritual health. I believe that if one of those is off-center, then they're all off-center. So you teach them how to express their emotions in a healthy way, how to be physically active and get natural endorphins that make you feel good. And that way we're not turning to food when we're sad, and we tend to do a lot of things around food. We entertain, we use it for reward, we use it for lots of things. So how to change those behaviors, both spiritually and physically.
So when you say natural endorphins, how do you make them understand what that is and how to do that?
I use a very simple scenario. When you're in a bad mood and you laugh, all of a sudden you feel a little better. Those are endorphins. It's that natural high that you get from doing great things. And I remind them that moving does that, exercise does that, laughing does that, playing a game around your dinner table does that. So those are things that they can latch on to.
And it puts you in a different place instantly.
Absolutely.
If you allow yourself to move to
absolutely
a different place.
Yes.
And Maria, for you, if you had the resources, what aren't you doing now that you would want to do?
I think probably more physical activity, more time in school
for the physical
activity, and more time in the home for physical activity. Is what I would recommend to the world.
When I think about that, so many of us walk to school in many ways, and we didn't have houses that it's very difficult for you to walk to the store and to ride your bike and do the things we've gotten accustomed to. And so many of the subtle things are missing today. And so now it's a lot of work to convince people how to keep moving. And one of the things we've talked about before is, when you talk about exercise, and the Surgeon General says that you need to exercise 30 minutes a day, 5 to 7 days a week, it deters people, I think, from doing it. Because if you can't do that much of it, then you think, whatever I've done is not enough, so I don't do anything. Right. So how do you address that for people?
Encourage people to do something. There's the Nike ad, just do it. And you can't win a race that you never start. So just encourage them to start with baby steps. If you can't do 7 days a week, then do 2 days a week. If you can't do 30 minutes, do 10 minutes. And it's a family event. That's something that everyone in the family can benefit from.
I think that the key to something you just said, if you can't do 30 minutes, just do 10 minutes. Do 10 minutes a couple times a day, and you still get the effect. Right. The kids in school, do they have the opportunity, if not in a class, and I understand if you don't have time for a physical education class, but what about physically in the schools, steps and stairs and parking lots, and how do people move around?
Actually, part of the wellness policy that I spoke about before says that all children, grades K through 8, should have 150 minutes of physical activity during the week. And what we've said in that policy is it's okay to do it in 10 minutes of moderate to vigorous activity. So 10 minutes between English and math, 10 minutes during math to count your multiplication tables, 10 minutes on the playground, and you've got 3 times 10 minutes.
And you've got the
your
endorphins
30
going.
minutes.
Exactly.
And what research is beginning to show is that these kids actually are able to sit down and focus and learn better once they've had those 10 minutes, or better yet, 30 minutes. But 10 minutes at a time absolutely is helping kids learn. It's not taking away from their time to learn. So that's going to be part of the policy at Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, for all schools to put those 10-minute or 30-minute periods into their
That should make a
everyday.
big difference. You should be able to measure that
I'm hoping.
over time. Ericka, if someone wants to join the Johnston Y, how do they do that? You want to talk about where it is?
Sure. We're located in the Novant district, which is on North Davidson Street. We're roughly 2-3 miles from downtown Charlotte. And basically, they can walk in the door. They can go online at www.ymcacharlotte.org, or they can call us directly at 704-716-6300.
And Dr. Jones, how do they find you? Where is your practice?
I'm located at Meridian Medical Group, which is in Uptown Charlotte at 1918 Randolph Road, Suite 275, and the zip code there is 28207.
And Maria, for those people who might have questions or further suggestions for you, where are you located?
We're at the Mecklenburg County Health Department, and any nurse can be reached through our assistant, and her number is 704-336-5496.
Thank you. And before we end today, I'd like to encourage our audience, particularly those parents who have children in the Charlotte Mecklenburg school system, to support our schools. Get involved. Do what it takes to ensure that our children are in the best environment to receive the best education possible. United Way can help you do this. We have many agencies and programs that focus on our helping children to succeed. Please call 211 United Way's Information and Referral line, and an information and referral specialist will connect you to a United Way agency that can serve you best. Thank you for joining me today and sharing. We can all help our children to succeed. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Gloria Pace King, and I will see you next time.
It's all the same, so don't count your bet on anyone, 'cause the only difference